Welcome back. It's a show filled with big laughs, smiles, and heart.
Big Fish the Musical will soon debut enough in Owensboro. And joining us this morning, we have actor Turner Vaughn and actress Susan Dant from Encore Musicals. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
So show nights coming up this weekend. Very exciting stuff. Before we get into the show, let's talk a little bit about what Encore Musicals is. What do you guys do in Owensboro, and what is Encore Musicals?
It is a community-based musical theater group. We do strictly music theater. And we were created when the Back Alley Musicals closed in 2017. And there were a group of friends who, the majority are still on the board, and that decided we need to see if music theater needs to be supported in Owensboro, and they did a review in 2017, and it was a one night only, and it was a standing room only. Wow. And it was just, the community wants music theater, and rightfully so, because music and the arts period is just such a big thing in Owensboro, and it stems from the educators within that region that are creating such a great upcoming group of kids that are just so talented. So
absolutely.
With a lot of great teachers. So.
Absolutely.
Now, how are you supported in the community when it comes to following your passions? I mean, this is a lot of hours, extra hours. You all have livelihoods you have to support, but to be able to do this on the side, I mean, how are you supported over there? Is there a groundswell of people that come out to these things each and every time that you perform?
Yes, we have season ticket holders. Owensboro is one of those communities that they show up. They show up and they support their own, and we see a lot of familiar faces in the audiences show after show after show.
Fantastic. We saw Daddy Long Legs last year. My husband was very impressed with that show, and he didn't have any idea what the show was even about. So great stuff. Speaking of the new show, though, Big Fish the Musical, and Turner, you are the leading actor in that show. So tell us a little bit about what Big Fish the Musical is, because it's based on a book, but the movie as well.
For sure. Big Fish is basically the story of Edward Bloom. It's also kind of a love story between Edward and his family. And it's several whimsical, tall tales that Edward has told throughout his life to his son, just trying to inspire and impress him. And it's just probably the most beautiful story I've ever told on stage, and I'm so excited for people to see it.
Very whimsical. Do we need tissues for it?
You might.
We might, yeah.
You might. We've had some people say it.
We wouldn't want to spoil it for them.
Absolutely
No,
not.
I don't know, but it's a good one. Tell us a little bit about both of your characters. So you're Edward Bloom, and then Susan, you're playing Sandra Templeton Bloom, correct?
Yes.
So tell us about a little bit about what your characters are like and what it's been like portraying those roles at rehearsals.
For sure. Well, Edward Bloom is just like, he's whimsical, but he's a very brave soul, and he wants to help people and be the hero of his own story. So he tries to find ways to narrate in his life where he can be that for the people and the communities that he goes and gets involved with. And, he's a loving father, and he wants to do anything in his power to support his wife, Sandra, and his son, Will. And, being able to see eye to eye to Will is something that he's wanting, but it's something that doesn't come easy, so.
And what about your characters?
It was love at first sight, Sandra and Edward, and it's just, she supports her husband without question, understands the man that he is, and understands the stories that he tells are just that, they're his stories. And loves every one of them, even though she's probably heard them about 50 times or more throughout her life. Edward travels a lot when Will is younger, and so the relationship between mother and son is a lot stronger than father and son, and she kind of gets caught in the middle, but she refuses to stay in the middle and forces them to fix their own relationship.
Now, when you have 3 shows this weekend, both Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, now after the show's over, and you have to think of the next production, is that a letdown, or are you excited to come up with something new and get that out there and start planning ahead?
I sleep for about a week. I go to work, but then I sleep for about a week.
I'm jumping into another production almost.
Well, I imagine there's a
immediately,
high when
so-
you're out there on the stage and there's a performance, and then
Yeah.
maybe the next day you're not preparing for something new. You have to think about what you're going to prepare for and perform the next time around.
I reintroduce myself to my husband and say, hi, I'm home.
That's why I say you guys have to take a lot of time out of your personal lives and your work lives to follow
We have
that
very
passion.
supportive families.
Yeah.
That's
I
wonderful.
mean, yes.
But what has it been like to bring this to the Owensboro community, to bring musical theater, and to be a part of something like this for folks like myself who just absolutely love the arts?
Feeds my heart.
Yeah, no, it definitely feeds my soul. Like I knew early on I wanted to be a performer, an entertainer, and to be able to have a community that actually offers that in bulk, honestly, to like you can literally every night in Owensboro you can go and find a different show just about every weekend at least.
That's wonderful.
So yeah, we're very fortunate to have Owensboro.
And we do have a full screen. If you guys could give us the show dates and times and how much tickets are and where people can buy them.
Sure. EncoreOwensboro.com. The shows are Friday and Saturday night at 7 p.m. Sunday at 2. We're performing at Jack T. Wells Activity Center, which is on Wesleyan's campus. $20 for adults and $10 for students, and you can buy tickets at the door.
Wonderful. Well, thank you both so much. Break a leg this
Thank you.
weekend. It's going to be fantastic. Great stuff. And right now, we're going to send things over to Chief Meteorologist Griffin Glasscock. Rain on our doorstep. We're hoping for a nice forecast for those trick-or-treaters tonight, Griffin.
Well, we